Hi everyone. In my last video, I did an introduction and I hope you'll be able to have a look at that. In this video, I want to explore aspects of our culture and ask if they are the reason that we may have drawback in terms of our progress as a country to be a highly developed country. So let's look at first, what is culture? So culture is defined as a way of life, an integrated or linked pattern of human knowledge, belief, and behavior. It's an outlook, attitudes, values, morals, goals, and customs shared by a society. And then it's passed on to the next generation by learning. So do we know our culture, our ideas, our customs, our social behavior in how we do things? We will look at some of these aspects from a book. The book is called African Friends and Money Matters, and it's been written by David E. Marans, who has a PhD in international development. He has worked with Summer Institute of Linguistics International in several African countries since 1975 in community development administration and anthropology consulting. Thanks, Jeremy, for introducing me to this book. The book is mainly about Africans and their relation with money. It would be easy to dismiss this book because it's written by a foreigner. However, the foreigner has consulted with many Africans as he wrote this book. And of course, it does not mean all Africans are this way, but you can be able to pick many traits that we see happening, especially with the leaders, but it also refers to us. So let's see. He writes in two perspectives, as a Westerner, and that's mainly America and Europe, and towards Africa. And his point of the book is just for better understanding and better relationships for people who are not Africans to be able to relate well with Africans. It is not so much about, hey, we as West are right and you as Africans are wrong, but it's just sometimes people who are not of your culture can see things that you don't often see. So it's easy to dismiss when someone else is writing, but the thing is, are these traits true about us and can they help us so that we are able to move forward? So let's see. So he writes that the main goal of the economic system, that is the result, is that both systems work well in their own cultural context, that is the circumstance and the setting. And that's how he sees it. So how are the systems set up? So the African setting is mostly to distribute the economic resources so that all people have their minimum needs met or at least survive. And for the West, America and Europe, is to accumulate capital and wealth. So we're going to go into more details of how this looks like, but I will only mention 11 traits. There are many more. Number 1, money corrupted is not expected to be paid back. Accountability is not enforced. Restitution, that is restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner, is not practiced. Number 2, a major function of government is to provide money and other resources to members of society who are in power or have a close relationship to those who are in power. Number 3, leaders in society, that is religious, political, and business, are expected to be people, and they are mainly men, who have a group of followers who distribute resources and in other ways provide for their followers when they have needs. They also have commanding personalities. Number 4, giving preference to employment of kin over non-kin is a normal expression of family responsibility and solidarity. Personal, family, or private interests are placed before larger organizational or public interests. People who are underqualified tend to be employed for particular positions as private interests are placed above qualifications and competence for accomplishing the purposes for which the positions were supposedly created. Accountability is lessened as loyalty to private interests is placed before the accomplishment of official tasks. Number 6, motivation to work conscientiously, that is, to do the work well and thoroughly, is lessened as people are hired because of who they are, not primarily what they're capable of. Number 7, standards of honesty, service, and morality are subverted to private interest. Power, wealth, and influence become concentrated in the powerful few rather than being distributed justly. Number 8, smaller entities are put at a disadvantage in the competition with larger ones because they have fewer human or monetary resources. Planning is not carried out to action, and priorities are not followed, as the rational use of resources is turned to private interests. Hypocrisy, that's where you pretend to believe something but you don't really believe it. Or cynicism, where you believe that people are only interested in themselves and are not sincere. Or duplicity, which is deceitfulness, are generated in society as people see that those who operate at levels of influence follow double standards. There's one for appearances and another in fact. Number 10, when a problem is encountered in trying to complete or carry through with transaction involving finances or other matters, the problem will seldom or clearly be admitted at the outset, but will typically only be revealed over a period of time. And lastly, old debts are forgotten and are not expected to be repaid, neither by the debtor nor by the lender. There you have it. Those are 11 traits of many more that you can find in this book, African Friends and Money Matters. What do you think of those traits? Do they describe other far-off people that you see in leadership, whether it's in the government or other institutions or organizations? Would they be things that you would practice given the opportunity, or you have been practicing anyway? Do you think those cultural traits affect our progress as a country to be a first world country? Join me in part 2 as I discuss some more cultural traits. As for the book African Friends and Money Matters, you can get it in bookshops or online. Take a look at it so that you can be able to get more details about how they describe how Africans are in terms of especially with money. One of the bookshops is Axe Bookshop. I don't own the bookshop, neither do I supply the books. I don't get a commission, but if you want to be able to get, you can get the link below the video. Otherwise, see you in part 2. Bye!